guys, welcome back to my show, Detailz with Dida Ritz. That's right, my show where I spill a little tea and give you a raw, detailed experience of what my time was like on the race. For today's episode, I'm super excited because my guest has had their own experience on the race. They were on season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race, The Face, and Grace. Miss Monica Beverly Hillz.
Hey sis.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. We both have been through this experience.
Yes.
The only difference was the budget was upped every year.
Yes.
So we're here for episode 3.
Okay.
What was your episode 3? Do you remember?
My episode 3 is actually, we did I think it was the pink, something with the pink. The toddlers and tiara thing.
Yes. I do remember that. Was so adorable.
That's when Alyssa had the sickening bow dress with the bow in the hair. Yeah.
Yes, iconic Alyssa Edwards,
Yes,
always larger than life. Episode 3 was when we had to produce infomercials for RuPaul's albums. We're starting off with episode 3. It was super sad. LaShawn Beyond. You know LaShawn? Have you ever met LaShawn Beyond?
No, not in person.
But you know who LaShawn is, obviously.
Oh, of course. Hello.
She's a Drag Race sister.
Yeah, she's stunning.
And so for our mini challenge, it was really cute. Actually, our mini challenge was kind of emotional. Pia Martell came in. We had to make butterfly headpieces. I remember that was fun. And Princess was my partner for that. Mm-hmm. And we made fabulous butterfly headpieces. I liked our butterfly headpiece. I thought it was cute, but you know, apparently they had the winner for somebody else. That's okay.
You know how the game goes.
I know how the game goes. What is your favorite mini challenge?
Well, my favorite one has got to be, because, you know, I watch
Like
all of them.
Yes,
honey.
of all.
All of them, even till this day. Mm-hmm. My has to be season 2, when they had to play basically the Fear Factor game, where they had to eat the crazy stuff.
Oh,
and Morgan
yes.
McMichaels was just barfing everywhere. I was literally barfing with her.
I forgot about that. That was so...
It was my favorite thing, but I wish it would have been like, say, them in drag would have been a little bit better. But to me, that has to be the most memorable one. And the most
didn't Juju be go like, the poor Juju?
They were eating balls and just crazy stuff. I don't know if I would be able to do that. Like, they probably would have sent me home.
I'm so hot right now from laughing. So Fifi, Kenya, and Jiggly were the winners of the mini challenge. And then in some television production way, they decided that Fifi and Kenya were going to be the team leaders. And this is interesting because, not to like sound shady, Kenya was very, I felt like
and I felt really
she
bad
wasn't going to be, if I overstepped her, then I would have looked shady. But then again, it was...
But I think everybody didn't really want to overstep her, but everybody kind of did.
Yeah.
Versus to the Untucked moment, what happened with her when she was speaking about all of that. She cried. I felt so bad for her.
Yes.
I was like, well, yeah, they make her a team captain, and she can't even really articulate to her team what she wants them to do.
So true and agreed. And I felt for her.
There was a lot of us in my season, a lot of big personalities. Mm-hmm. And the ones that were very quiet, so they would have to like tell us to be like, well, I was one of them because, you know, I got a big ass mouth. You can't tell me to be nothing.
No, I have
so
for years,
they would tell us to be like, shh, and they would ask the person who would be quiet. I don't want to say no names, but I mean, proof is in the pudding.
Say the names, girl. We love the names. It's all in the details, darling. Here at Detailz with Dida Ritz.
I love her to death, and she was my close Judy, but like Vivian Panay. She would be like amazing. I mean, to me, you know, we connected, we were great, and she was good, but for the camera, they wanted her to be more aggressive, more out there. And to me, it's like, but how could you really be that if you're not really that kind of person, period? But then you realize, honey, we're in TV. It's now all it's meant to be. So they're asking you to bring the game. Bring the game.
Bring the game, darling. Rue hates when you're standing on that runway and you say, I'm here to learn, bitch. Rue hates that. Yeah. I know that for a fact. Just being there and hearing multiple girls my season say that, I'm here to learn, I'm here to I'm here. And Rue, like, you should already know what you want when you're here. So then, the other gagging part was that Sharon and Fifi were on the same team. Fifi picked Sharon.
Well, because Fifi's a smart girl. That was very strategic.
I remember thinking that was very interesting because it was definitely like shit being talked at that point.
Because that was around the point where they were starting not to like
her. And it was definitely like, you know, little pitter patter.
So let me just pick her. Let me pick her, show everybody that I don't really hate her, but I hate her guts, and this is what we're going to do here.
It was like a lot of pitter patter, scuttlebutt, as they like to say.
Yeah.
She knew she wanted to be the villain. So
and she played it good, honey, because let me tell you something. I watched Drag Race And I always said to myself, because, you know, I love reality TV. I'm like, where's that one person who's going to come and stir some stuff up?
Yes.
I watch it now and I'm like, well, Fifi, honey, legendary. When we got on our season, we had so many rules because season 4, y'all came in and turned the whole entire thing upside down.
We got away with it all. That's why it was so good.
We came in and they told us they fired the whole season 4 production from all the scandal that happened. So we were just like, they were watching us. They made sure they had us on lockdown for us.
Because we got away with a lot. There was so much we got away with. Now I hear that they locked the girls in the room and they put the tape on the door and you have to slide underneath.
That was happening for my season.
You have to slide the note along with the money
but you know,
for
me,
the vending machine.
I wasn't doing all that. I was knocking on the door. Knock.
Roxy Andrews, I remember one time, because I was asking her what her experience was like compared to mine, and I remember Roxy Andrews had said that literally that the door was closed, like obviously locked, and it had a tape on it, like a piece of tape on it.
They had 2 pieces of blue tape across, so they know that you were messing with the door trying to open it.
And you would have to slide your.
You would like in jail. You would say they would tell you if you want to smoke a cigarette or whatever. I don't even smoke. I started smoking
from the vending machine.
Okay, I started smoking in my season just to get out of my room because literally you're locked in the room by yourself.
So I end up on Fifi's team. And I wasn't shocked because obviously, like, at that time, like, Fifi and I worked in Chicago.
I was going to ask you that.
So we were picking songs, and I got main event. So that was, and here my entire idea, I thought, was to do, like, a whole housewife kind of vibe. Like, you know, when my husband gets home, you know, it's going to be time for the main event. Well, I guess they didn't like that idea, obviously, for what happens in this episode. So, Monica, why I'm talking about all of my experiences, because this with Detailz with Dida Ritz, this is all about your experience too.
Okay.
So, your season was a lot of acting. There was a lot of acting challenges going on. Definitely a lot of team and group. I guess it was like group building on y'all season or something.
Yeah,
teamwork.
Challenge building, episode 3, we did Kentucky Ho.
Yes, I do remember Kentucky Ho.
And see, this is what really pisses me off about the whole entire thing. I wasn't actually that bad. And then when you see it back, it's like, oh my God. Because the whole time I had my lines written down in the book. I was stumbling a little bit on them, but I had the words in the book.
Which is something they do too. They, like, in the situation, you think you're doing a great job, and they will make you feel like you're doing a great job. But then when you get on that damn runway, it sucks.
And I noticed you're like, yes, I noticed.
You're like, you were laughing on set. Like, what are you talking about?
You were laughing at my jokes, sir.
For my season, there were so many heavy hitters that I think they were afraid to put them by themselves first in the beginning of it. They're like, no, there's a lot of newbies here too. Let's throw them in the mix and let's get them out of here first, and you know, then we'll start playing hardball. You know, I'm like, I don't like all that being in teams. I'm like, okay, I came here to play by myself.
Yes, no.
I'm over here playing, and meanwhile, I'm the one who's fucking up the whole time. Oh, can I curse? Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, keep it conversation.
Watching it back was like horrifying. I was like, whoa.
I think that's why me and you kind of relate a lot with the experience.
Well, because you know, when my season, when I came in, basically, they casted to me to be like Dida Ritz and the Jiggly Caliente. That's basically what I was supposed to be. That's what I was supposed to deliver in one for my season. And yeah, they always bring up the Banji and the ghetto thing, and it was always thrown in my face. Always. And their excuse was they don't want me to change it. They want me to embrace it. But it's like, girl, I embraced it. I'm like, can we just move on from it, please?
Something that people may not even know is that when we're on the runway and you're like watching yourself in this acting challenge situation, you're like on set and you're playing to a camera, is that you get to watch it on the runway.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know that.
It back before when I didn't even apply, I was like, okay, I'm like, do we get to see it the way we're seeing it?
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah,
they pull it, they wheel out the televisions on the little stand, and you just stand there, and you're just like, oh, and it's fully edited like y'all see it on TV.
Just very that.
When you're watching it, are you watching the judges too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I was like, Rue's face first, Michelle, Santino, and then or Billy B if they were there. But like, I was always like, who's
Honey,
like,
I went in there being a Santino fan, and I left out there being like, ew. He got on my goddamn nerves.
I will admit, there was like a thing that like about Santino, I will admit, that was like, he was very like sexy and very handsome.
Yeah, I mean,
I admit, but then like being around him every day on the show, that left
I felt like
very
he didn't
quick.
like, I don't know, I felt like in my season, he was like just like over being there. I think he just was there to be there. Just
Well,
like,
and that's why he's not there anyways. Anyways, moving on.
hello.
So now we're moving on to the runway.
Favorite
darling.
part of the show, darling.
Everyone's favorite part of the show. My favorite part. Your favorite part. The runway. First up on the runway, we have RuPaul. Now, let me tell you already, whenever I see this look, no matter if it is photographed on a t-shirt, I've seen it blown up on people's walls before in different ways, I always literally think about, like, I am somewhere in the vicinity of that day. And this is one of my favorite runway looks. I just have to say that. What did you think of her runway look at the time?
Oh no, honey! At this time, and this was season 4. Okay, honey.
Yes, absolutely.
Bring it. This is
The
one of my
budget was
favorite-
there, honey.
And so was the paint. So was everything. It's
That
actually
good old Matthew Anderson right there.
Yes, this is my favorite one to actually look, and this is actually one of the hairstyles I love and I wear a lot.
Yeah, you do wear the French roll with
Yeah.
the. All you were missing was the, and it's so funny that
With
you're
the
here
hoodie.
on this episode for that, and we didn't even plan that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even plan that. The theme for the runway, I should remind you all, was metallics. That's why Rue is in the gorgeous silver ambiance. Right before the runway started, we peeked around the corner and saw her, and it was that situation I think I had said in a few episodes back where you just saw like a ball of sparkle. And
Yeah.
we just saw literally the ball of sparkle and then the French roll.
See, that was
Incredible.
weird because they let us, because you know we walked the runway twice.
Yeah, same. Yes.
They let us. They didn't let us do that. They locked us. Like literally, we were in the stairway, coming one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't see nothing until you like literally stepped in. So it was like literally somebody just pushing you out there. You're like, "What's going on?" You always see
Yeah.
the lights, and you walked out there. And the funny part about it was because I remember, I'm like, look straight forward, Slay, they're right there. No, the judges are not even straightforward.
No, they're like
to the
off
side.
yeah. I know, and that's funny. And people ask that all the time.
Yeah,
They
so I
wonder
was
if
like,
the judges- I'm like,
whoa.
no, they're off to the side.
So that kind of threw me off the first time when I ran first runway.
Were you gagged? Because you say that we walked the runway twice. I had said that, and people were gagged actually when I had said that in the past episode. Were you gagged, or did anything that any of the judges say you remember threw you off? Like, we used to always kind of make fun of my legs and
Yes.
things like that, and be like, oh, they're wooden, darling. They're still, like, really
Yeah.
speak in that way, and it would be hard for me to keep my fierceness.
Yeah.
Because
I would just laugh because I got a lot of comments to like, for the second episode, I had the leather. They were comparing me to Lisa Left Eye Lopez. And then for my first episode, Lady Akira. So I got nothing but like, good critiques, but they were all like, every time they would say, oh, she looks like this, she looks like that. Oh my god, she's beautiful. Oh my god, like, so it was good comments. And so then you get lined up and then they're like, by the way, you were the worst.
Okay, like I said, smile on set, but when that runway hit, honey, it was a different ball.
It sure was. And I remember telling my mom and telling my family and friends, like, I've never experienced that because literally the whole entire time I was sober. Unless, like, we were, like, untucked and had that one drink. But to experience that and to be there and to, like, oh my God, like, I'm actually here. I'm being judged. To me, was never so petrified in my life. And I was, honey, living in the hood since the age of, since I was little. I ain't never been that scared. But being in front of the panel and having them judging you, that's a lot of pressure. I'm like, oh my God. I was literally, there was days where I'd be like, I go to my hotel room, like, I don't want to do the runway. I'll do anything else, but don't put me in the runway anymore.
No,
I wasn't even that scared
just,
to walk in when you walk in for your entrance. Because when I walk into the entrance, you hear the girls laughing in the studio. So I'm like, oh, this ain't nothing. I was way more scared. Way more scared being judged on the runway than walking in and seeing a bunch of girls I don't even know.
Quick side note: could you ever hear the girls like the heels clacking when the next girl comes in for the first day, and you be talking, and then all of a sudden you guys would get quiet really quick because you would hear click 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 click. You'd be like, who's next? Who's the next bitch?
Oh, darling,
who is it?
The cheesecake herself, darling.
It's me, of course.
The Ritz.
So I really got to give, first of all, a great shout out to Hector Couture, who did that for me. And this was actually inspired by Raja. Raja inspired me by this. I never ever said that before, but she inspired me because I loved her kind of CP3O kind of vibe she gave the season before. I sat down with Hector and we literally went to a hardware store and bought it was like sheets of metal, and he cut every single one of those metals out, hand sewed them on to the corset in the hot summer, mind you. He really brought it to life, and it was the first time I worked with like a designer. Really, I mean, I had really still was new to drag.
By far,
even
this is
that.
one of my favorite looks of yours.
The bob, I still own that bob. I don't wear it, obviously.
You don't?
But
You still own it?
I own it, but I don't wear it.
Well, honey, she wears human hair now, honey. Okay. Get to you.
And I mean, and for today's look, I wanted to like, you know, still be
that wet
metallics,
look.
but give a little like wet look, a little updated vibe. You know, the bob is a little longer, a little wetter. You know, they've been saying that the hair was thirsty, so I thought I'd give it some water.
Squanch.
Next up, we have.
Let's see. Oh, honey.
It is the one and only, the large and in charge,
sweetheart of the world,
Latrice
Miss
Royale.
Latrice Royale.
Well, here's the deal. I always say this every episode because I have to be honest with you. Real talk, and I have to finally just say this because we getting into knowing each other here at Detailz with Dida Ritz. I really, when I look back at Latrice's looks now, I didn't really like any of them because I was like, she does such like high glamour and it's so different. She would never even wear this. But at the time, I remember thinking, I love the fact that Latrice was like this really tall, large, curvaceous.
And
I love that she's giving me like the legs and she's proud and she's living and she's happy.
Miss Latrice Royale, honey, changed the whole game walking through that door.
She did.
It was just like, oh my God, who is this
She changed the
woman?
game, period, for drag and drag race, walking through that door. Any big girl that walked on to RuPaul's Drag Race after season 4 would be lying if they said that they didn't look to Latrice Royale as a piece of inspiration.
Not to toot my own horn, but I was the first transgender
You were.
fish to come out on that show.
So can we talk about that really quickly? Because
I'm not the first on the show, but the first to come out on the show.
So let's talk about that really, really quickly because it was really interesting how there has been an experience of girls coming out as trans after the show airs, after the shows air on reunions or like after the show's done. You were the first to come out on the runway.
Yes.
What, first of all, was going through your mind because you were very emotional. You were crying.
Oh, yeah.
And so explain to me like what was going on, like.
Well, I mean, so many things go through your head, and I didn't really necessarily think I was going to express that at the moment, but everything they were saying was true, and that day for me was the worst day of my life. I felt that day, knowing I was going to be judged and everything, and I was just having the worst day, and I felt like that day was like Pick on Monica Day. Now that I look at it, I'm like, honey, I'm so happy and fortunate to have that day, because to this day I watch it and I'm like, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah, I mean, you were the first to really express that. I mean, now we've had great girls like Peppermint on the show, and the girls have really done things. But you were the first to really be raw about that. I think that there was something to admitting in being so vulnerable in such a place where, I mean, you're told to be really your strongest, you know?
And I wasn't being my strongest.
Yeah, and so
I wasn't being my realist. I was trying to cover up something, and I never even thought, because I remember before I was leaving, my roommate was telling me, he was like, are you sure you're going to be okay with those cameras on you? I'm like, I'm not even thinking about that. I'll be fine. And instantly, boom. It hit me when I got there. I was like,
so you never were able to get comfortable with the camera. See, like after like this episode, I was very comfortable with them. It just,
I was comfortable when I was up in the geesh. I wasn't comfortable when I had to like take it all off.
But when you were in the room working on stuff.
Oh yeah, because I was still, put a little light foundation, throw my things on. But, even after I came out as transgender, there was still like, we still want you to know, you still can be yourself. But of course, they're telling you to be yourself, but we don't want you coming in here and drag because, it takes away the whole illusion, basically.
Which is really crazy because the true illusion is like
what you see or what
you see here. Like it's what they call the fantasy, right? Okay. Next up, we have Madame LaQuia. What did you think of Madame LaQuia's look?
Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real, keep it funky, keep it moving. Not my favorite outfit at all. It's just styled the wrong way for me, I think. Yeah. If the corset's gonna be there, I feel like I need it to be more snatched.
Yeah.
The little Barbie little shoe.
The little sea biscuit.
The little, yes.
A little hostess cake, a little snap, a little Debbie, little
if she would have threw me a thigh-high boot, little nasty thigh-high boot on there,
At the time, I thought, like, okay, this is a look, it's a costume. You know, drag really was like, you know, there were very few girls giving the fashion vibe. I mean, now everybody wants to be fashion and drag, but I didn't hate it or like it. I wouldn't wear it. But,
Yeah.
You know. So, next up we have Sharon Needles. Ooh. I like this. I thought this was fun. The only thing I really did remember thinking was that I hated that I could like see her hairline kind of like at certain parts, and I wish that she would have like maybe went to the prosthetics. I remember thinking this at the time, like because the first episode, you know, she did the whole ball thing with the, so I was thinking like, damn, I wish she could like mold that to her neck just to make it perfect. But it was sickening. I thought was fire.
This wig.
I loved the jacket. I loved the jacket. I loved the
leotard.
The leotard. Although she was giving me a little granny panty in the booty. I was, you know,
the little padding was a little off.
A little granny panty in the booty. I remember thinking that. But I mean, the look was so right. Next up, we have Mother. Chad Michaels. She said that it was a Versace medallion, and I thought she was giving me like a very 90s high fashion Versace model. I loved it. I loved how the gold went up into the hairline. What did you think?
I loved it. One of my favorite looks. Honestly, Chad Michael can't do no wrong in my eye. Honey, costumes.
Agreed. Chad Michaels is like perfect. Literally, like I remember like I had said that even at one point. Chad is just perfect. I mean, he's just such a professional, and he really just understands the instructions. Like you send him
But it's so humble
instructions.
and so nice though. It doesn't like give you like, oh, I know my shit, you know, like my shit doesn't stink type of vibe. I've never even had like that kind of situation. I've nothing but just love and. Yeah.
He works so vigorously.
Yeah, like the Snatch
hard.
Game, honey, he slayed that shit.
Baby, wait till that episode, because the Snatch Game episode. Girl.
Slay.
Next up, we got
Oh,
Jiggly.
my girl.
All day. Jiggly. I like Jiggly. This look, what was, once again, I don't like it now, but I remember thinking then it was like, I just think I love the hair the most. She had the hair and the sunglasses, I remember.
Yeah.
And I was in love with the hair and the sunglasses more than I was in love with the outfit.
Yeah,
I just
but no
felt
shit,
like,
I've had this outfit before.
like you've had that exact outfit.
Yeah.
Because you know, drag does that. Drag travels.
No,
ladies and
it does.
gentlemen.
It does. I'm
Like it
I
starts.
like it.
It literally starts like somewhere, and it works its way down to like. I mean, literally at the garage, at the drag garage sale. Jiggly had the confidence of 10 hot bitches. So there was nothing you could tell.
I remember watching her, and I'm like,
you could tell her no.
Oh, bitch, I'm gonna do this. If she's, I live for her because she was just.
Yeah, no, she.
New York fish down.
She got the confidence of 10 fierce bitches in the game. Next up, we have Fifi O'Hara. What did you think of Fifi's look?
Love it. I would wear that. I would actually wear that now. If you have it and you're selling it, call me.
All the components are there. It was the Fifi hair. It was the Fifi makeup. It was the outfit. It's the brightness of the outfit. It's, you know, she definitely has signatures and things that are her. So, yeah, no, I loved it. I still love it. Next up, we have Milan. Now, I loved this look simply for the hair because I was like, bitch, freaking hair. I loved the bodysuit. I loved it showed the body. I love the bodysuit because it showed the body. It sounds crazy.
I kind of wish it could have had like a little element of like, say she came out like a nice glittery long jacket or something, you know, and then revealed it, and then came out dancing or something. I needed some more disco type of like bling on it or something.
I remember all of Milan's runways were super movement. Like she was like, Milan was really the first girl who took that runway and worked every inch of it. And I just feel like we should just give big ups to bitches who do it before, you know.
Okay.
All right, so next up we have
Willow.
So you know, here's something crazy about that outfit.
I love it.
She has a shoulder piece situation. I was in between Chad and Willem, and so Willem I would hear banging the first day I got there, and I was like, what is that banging? Like, what's going on? Come to find out, she was actually working on this outfit. She was literally like screwing in every spike into her garment and laying every rhinestone, and I think she even still does it. Sometimes, one of the last times I worked with her, I remember saying I liked something she had on, and I was like, it was rhinestone, and I was like, my God, Willem, it's gorgeous, and she was like, oh, I did it myself. So I think she still probably does it herself, but I remember she had a very hammering hand in making this outfit. But I like it. I thought it was sexy. What do you think?
Everything, girl. I wish I wish I had the body to wear it now.
I know. She has a great body.
Hormones.
Next up, we have
Oh.
Kenya Michaels. The pretty, adorable Kenya Michaels.
Have you seen her now?
Oh my God, girl.
Miss Kenya, honey. Slaying the game.
One of the things I remember the judges said about this is that they loved that they could follow every line. I believe
Yeah, it's very detailed.
Santino said it was super detailed. I loved this. The hair, it was...
The way the silver goes into the gold and the way she has the glitter going around the eye. I'd rock that.
Next up, we have
Ooh,
the princess.
Yes, Miss Princess.
The princess. And it was funny because as we peeked around the corner, we saw a Rue hat on, and then we like literally all looked at her. We all literally were like,
Ooh.
like looked at Princess like, girl, bitch stole your look. I liked it. I thought it was like very princessy. I know that they had said like they didn't like that her eyes were so dark that they could hardly like not see into them. I remember Michelle saying that. But I like that. I love a bitch who has a heavy lash situation.
Okay.
I'm wearing 3 right now.
I did like Princess. The look was cute.
It was good. So next up we have...
Monica Beverly Hillz. No, I'm joking. That's
And then,
it.
are we done? We're
Yeah.
done? Okay, so we're done. Alrighty, so now we got to the runways. I have just been on that runway, mind you, like... My critiques weren't good. I remember my critiques. This was the moment I think that they really tried to get me, y'all. They tried to get the doll girl. In Untucked, I had this moment where I broke down, like turned the corner, and I thought nobody was watching. I just kind of cried to myself, and I was sobbing. And I remember Chad and Sharon both kind of like came and just shook me, like Chad was like, "You stop crying, like stop crying." Like literally was very hard and tough on me, and I needed that. Monica, you've been through this. This is why I would love to have you here for this episode. What were you thinking as you were sitting over there? Because you know the deliberations are long.
Long as hell. I always say this, everybody laughs. My feet have never been the same since Drag Race.
Mine either.
I remember the 3rd episode when I went home. I was sitting in my yellow pumps. We were standing there so long as the blood was just swimming in my shoe. And then the thing is, they have you standing there so long, they stare at you, look you up and down. They make their jokes. Everybody keys, everybody laughs, and you're just like there, just waiting while you're just shaking, having a convulsion. The first episode, you can see they zoom up. My lip was shaking so bad. I was so freaking, and my knees were like, I felt like I was in the end of a pirate ship, and they're about to just throw my ass off and be like, she's done.
So then, we go on to the lip sync for your life. And me and Princess have to lip sync for our life. And when I tell you, it was really interesting. The one thing I thought, it was interesting that this was going to be the song. My drag mother, Taj Mahal, may she rest in peace, used to perform this song all the time. And I remember thinking, okay, just think how she performs it, like think how she's performing and like how she gives it. And there's like the parts where like, as long as I'm living true love, I'll be giving to you, I'll be, you know, all that. Obviously I know all that like crazy, but like at the time I was like, just give it, because that's like what I had her in my mind the entire time. So there was like parts of that lip sync that like still have never been seen. There's a part where I actually hit the floor and I go, from now on, because I had knew like it was like a turning point for me in the competition. Like I was like, okay, I've already performed for these people. They know what I am capable of. Like I'm a performer, like, but I can act, I can do all this if you want me to. Like from now on, I will promise. And I remember I was hitting the floor at one point. Yeah. And I would love for whoever, Logo, World of Wonder, whoever has that, put that footage out of the original, like raw footage of me lip syncing. Cause I was hitting the floor and pointing to the runway, like from now and going in. And yeah, it was crazy. I remember all of the crew clapping and
because
telling
when you do kill it, like when my lip sync, this is the people in the room, the energy, and not even that, you have that out of body experience, because when that music hits, I remember I felt like I was going for blood. Like, okay, I'm gonna attack this girl, I'm gonna grab her, I'm gonna throw her off the stage. But girl, I just went blank, and I just remember hearing that la 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 la. All I remember was that. And I remember when they stopped. Yeah. I don't remember anything else. So when I started, I was like, oh, bitch, I was killing it. Oh, my God. But that's all I remember was when it started and when it finished, I remember looking up and I was just crying and crying and crying. Yeah. And finally, I was just like, okay, when she had said, you're here to stay, I was like, bitch, take me to my hotel.
After I was done with mine, I remember I was standing there. I had just performed. I was standing there sweating, so angry because I personally, once again, just felt like I should have been in the bottom. So I was sitting there so upset, hot as hell, like literally hot, angry, but hot too, like sweating. And I remember Chanel, talked about Chanel, came up to me and he tried to hand me, and I was like, I don't even want it. Like, I was so mad. I also want to say that that is still the only lip sync that you have ever seen any judge pick up anything. What their judges ain't been I'm sorry, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but honey, judges ain't waved no hankies for some of these other girls, and some of y'all done death drop literally from the rafters. Oh, I wanted to ask you a question about something. I know that when we would do the lip sync, after the lip sync, she would get up and walk off. Did she do the same thing for you?
Yes, let me tell you.
Okay, yes.
The first episode, remember, I'm standing back there because now it's Serena Cha-Cha and Penetration, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting back there because I'm like, bitch, I'm safe now. I'm like, ooh, so cute. So we're sitting there back here. Next thing you know, it stops. Tell me why she is all done up in the hole you dig, and I'm digging. All of a sudden, you get up, and from here down, she's somebody's uncle. She had sweatsuits, sweatpants on, her slippers on. I was really like, oh, I feel very robbed.
It's like somebody Ginsu knifed Rue in half and like put the female top on, and it's crazy.
But it was so funny though because you couldn't stop looking. You're like, oh my god, she's still beautiful and she's rocking her pajamas from the waist.
But don't the pajamas match the outfit?
Yeah.
There were a few episodes I would clock that where I'm like, and I'll make sure to bring that up in the episodes where I remember that. This one I don't remember that, but like there's a few episodes I remember like, wow, like she would have Adidas sweatpants on, but they were like matching perfectly to what she was wearing.
Let me ask you this really quick, because I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, well, when she see her up close, she's not gonna be that beautiful. I swear to you,
girl.
when I walked down that first episode, when I walked out, I said, oh my gosh, she's even more stunning in person. Like,
let me tell y'all. Rue, there is something to be said about the
I don't
glamour,
agree with everything that happens with Rue and comes out of her mouth.
But when that makeup goes on the face,
this thing is sickening, honey.
Baby girl, father of God, as T.S. Madison like to say. Let me tell you, there would be times, I always say, there would be times where like literally I'd be standing next to the girls on the runway and we would just be like,
I felt ugly as hell. I'm like, oh, I need some more cheekbone or something.
That $1 million bitch. So, Princess goes home. And it was very hard. It was very, very hard. Do you remember, like, having to send your fellow sister home in your episode, how hard it is? Because at that time, you've bonded a little bit.
Yeah,
so
but
hard?
Serena, we were all happy to kick her home.
Yes,
Sorry, Serena. You were a pain in all our asses in our season. It's because she was also too young, and it was her first time around a lot of girls like that. And for her, and I felt bad for her because there was days I would have to tell her, you need to just shut your ass up for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
Everybody off. So that day in Untucked, it was just a lot. And then my mom came on the TV, so I was having a moment. And then again, Serena had to say something crazy.
Yeah.
And again, that day I wasn't having it, and I had to go off and tell her, who you calling ghetto? And they had to take me outside and everything.
I remember that. You said, who you calling ghetto? And I was like, oh, that's Monica, no, Monica, no.
That was after the F-bombs I was dropping before.
I was at the television like, Monica, no, please don't show her who you are, mama, because she ain't ready for it. I was going to ask about that because, that is something, we all know Serena and we love her, and she's got a great hair business, and she is doing hair for the girls and making money and got herself prospering. But I was wondering, like, what that was like, because on my season, we didn't really have to deal with that type of, like, behavior. I think we maybe had to deal with some egos was our season. Our season was more the egos, as where people were maybe not as... no one on our season was immature. I think it was just ego.
No, she
was
immature,
young, not knowing.
When that camera was on, she was extra that times 20. So it was constantly when you're around people for so many, so long, and first meeting somebody, it's like, girl, please. And she always felt like she knew everything because she was educated and woo-woo-woo.
Yeah, and I'd heard that type of talk be talked about.
And the Detailz had to get her ass together, honey. Okay.
Yeah. The Detailz had said she had it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Had it.
I remember that Untucked like it happened yesterday because, honestly, that Untucked, I felt like we were like in an episode of the Bad Girls Club because we were not having it that day.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about was that you guys did the whole dunking in the huge like aquarium of water, right?
No, we had to do a famous photo shoot on the water photo shoot.
Yeah, what was that like? I would have lived to have done that. So
you know what?
You tell me what I mean, hello, especially
Girl.
this type of hair, honey. That good old wet human is
Well,
gorgeous.
you know,
but
I was
that,
wearing-
that
I
shit
was-
I had before might have snapped in half, and I might have just sopped up all like like a sponge. My hair just would have like.
Okay.
Anyways, what was that like for you?
And that was overwhelming for me because I was wearing a carpet. If y'all remember what I was wearing,
Oh,
I was wearing a
do.
yarn dress.
Yes.
So you know how you dunk
Mm-hmm.
for somebody that's wearing yarn and yarn. I mean, in water, honey.
It's heavy. You'll be
Oh, that
very
was the
heavy and very like probably. I would
But
imagine.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's when I remember because you come in and you don't see the tank at all. They tell you don't look that way.
Mhm.
So when she's like, "Hello, Mike Ruiz's beautiful ass was over there," and if they turn around, you're like, "Whoa! I'm supposed to get in that."
Yeah.
It was scary, but at the same time, like, but you want to stay? Get your ass in the water.
Well, thank you again, Monica.
Thanks for having me.
Come back and see us, honey.
Of
Spill more
course.
tea. There's always a lot of tea to spill with the race, darling. Monica, where can everyone find you on social media?
Instagram, Twitter, Monica B Hillz, and do not forget Hillz with a Z. And Facebook, you can catch me at my new legal name, Monica De Jesus Anaya.
Clap for the legal name. Clap, clap for the legal name. Clap. Clap, clap for the legal name. Yeah. Thursdays, me and Monica, we work together at Jackhammer.
Yes.
Every Thursday's for Climax, Babes and Boylands.
Hashtag climax.
We are there every single Thursday. So this doesn't stop. This
Honey.
continues right after the camera's off. Matter of fact, you want to go get something to eat?
Oh, we're going to.
We're going to go get something to eat. Thank you so much for watching Detailz with Dida Ritz. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. I want to